Welcome everyone. Today I'm going to be explaining how to build a picture-in-picture video response to maybe a YouTube video, or maybe you're playing a game and you want a picture-in-picture feed. Like a feed of you talking against a screen that some action is being performed upon. First, let's start with the basic equipment. Number one, you need this LED light. Unless you have pretty good lighting already, the LED light, what it does is it doesn't generate very much heat, and you can bounce it off of walls in order to light up your face, and it makes your picture a lot better on a webcam. If there's low light, it gets pretty grainy and it gets kind of, it's not very good. Next, you're going to need some sort of computer. Your computer is going to be needing dual video output for what I'm going to try to show you today. If you don't have a dual video output, that is fine. We could probably work with that, but it's going to be a little bit harder to do. The next thing we're going to need is some sort of microphone. What I'm showing you here is a Yeti Blue microphone. This is pretty common for podcasting, but you might have a microphone attached to your webcam, or if you're using a laptop, you might have that as well, but you get what you pay for. Those smaller microphones, those integrated microphones, might not sound very good. Also, you're going to need some sort of webcam. What I'm showing you here is a 1080 pixel HD Logitech video camera webcam. This is going to be one of the first results on Amazon. Usually Amazon's pretty good. The first result for any type of search is the highest rated product and what people like. Last, we're going to need dual monitors. As you see here, I got the software pulled up, and while I'm working off of one screen, I'm using the second screen for recording. This will allow you to multitask and get instant feedback onto what you are recording. So very useful to have two monitors. Not critical. It's not going to stop you from recording the screen, but it is very helpful to give you feedback. Now the next thing that you want to do is you want to go to Google. Just to open up any browser. I'm going to open up Brave here. It's a browser, but you could use Firefox, Internet Explorer, whatever you want to do. Make sure you're in Google and you just Google the letters OBS. And they'll bring you to Open Broadcaster Software. It's going to be your first link. So let's click in there real quick and see, we got some different options here. I'm on a Windows machine, so I will hit the Studio. Make sure you're getting the Studio here and not this Classic. The Classic's a little bit harder to deal with. Classic's a little bit more tricky to set up. It still works, but get the Studio. It's a lot quicker and easier to set up and to utilize. So get OBS Studio. And I already have it, but just download that and install that, and I'll give you a feeling of how that looks. So you look at that infinite regression. This is just me sliding from one monitor to the other. That's why it's nice to have two different monitors, so that you can do your work on one monitor and stream on the other monitor. You get the instant feedback on one monitor, and you get the display that you're trying to use on another monitor. So two monitors is important. It can work with one monitor. You could do this with one monitor, but you might want to get two just for ease, for convenience. This is just a quick look at what it looks like. You see over on my smaller monitor over there, I have the software open and running, so I get that instant feedback. And on my main monitor, that's the one I'm streaming from. Alright, now that we know our software and our hardware setup, let's figure out how to use this software. Open Broadcasting Software. There's this scenes items over here, and you might have a scene pre-populated right here. If not, go ahead and hit that plus button. That's going to add a scene. And from this scene, you can add various sources over here. Look at that. You got that and that. I'm going to move my picture up here so you can kind of see what other options we have here. We got start streaming. That's for if you want to stream straight to the internet. And then we got the stop and start recording button. This is if you want to film something, put it in a file and dump it to your desktop or wherever. And then you could upload that to YouTube later on. Settings is very interesting. Settings, you want to make sure that this is configured very precisely. Let's see, audio, I make sure that my correct microphone is recording. Video, make sure that your resolution that you're recording is correct. I'm using output scale to a 720 video. You could do a 1080 if you want, but just make sure that you're just not filming a weird resolution. And it might default to whatever resolution the monitor, your main monitor that you're trying to stream off of is. You want to make sure your sources are correctly added and prioritized. You see here, displays on bottom, my video is on top. If I flip these two, what do you think is going to happen to my picture here on the screen? Disappears because my whatever's on top, that shows first. So it's like a layered cake. So the video capture device, that's going to show first, then everything else is going to be behind that. So you could add as many displays and devices as you want. Let's go ahead and hit add. You could add from your windows, you could add from a video capture device. Video capture device, that's what's going to be your webcam, if you have a webcam. Then if you want to add a display capture, you could actually add one of your monitors, and you get to pick between your primary and secondary monitor. That's where you configure that. So it's pretty easy once you get a hang of this. As soon as you hit stop recording, it makes a file for you, which you can go find that in your show recordings folder. Pretty simple and easy.